So before, I waste any further time, let me welcome our very special guest with me on the studio today. I have Ken Mufumbiro, who is the chairman of African Professions of Australia. But before I spill too many beans for you, I might probably just best let him introduce himself. Maybe I'll just start with a very quick question. Who are you? And you can tell us which part of Africa do you come from? When did you come to Australia? And all that nice stuff.
My name is Kenneth Mufumbiro.
Yes.
Originally from Uganda.
Yes.
I came to Australia in 2002.
Wow, 2002.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been here a little while, so yeah. And I'm the current New South Wales President of African Professionals of Australia.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I prefer to be called chairman because president sounds very heavy.
It is befitting for your role, though, because yes, you are the president. You lead the New South Wales professional people in. Is it New South Wales?
Yeah, New South Wales. We are actually a national association.
Okay.
Chapters in Perth, in Queensland, in Victoria, and in New South Wales. We're starting one in South Australia soon, and we are working on another one in the city.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Oh, good. So, okay, we've learnt about you as well. What do you do, you personally, in your own profession?
I'm a senior consultant.
Yes.
In the markets area.
Yes.
In Australia Bank.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Somehow I've ended up there. My career has been a long, windy road, but that's what I'm currently doing. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And so you, of course, being the chairman or you don't want to be referred as the president, the chairman of African Professions of Australia, there's so many people who are not sure what this association is for. Maybe you can just give a brief description. What is this association for, and how do people get involved if they want to join in?
That's a very, very important question.
Yes.
APA,
yes,
as we normally call it in short, African Professionals of Australia.
Yes.
Was started 12 years ago.
12 years. I only learnt about it, I think, 2 years ago.
12 years ago. We had our 10th year anniversary 2 years ago.
Yes.
In Parramatta.
Yes.
We had Senator Gichuhi there, the Member of Parliament for Parramatta there, and a few other dignitaries. Blessed us with their presence. It started in Perth. Maybe that's why it's still growing.
Okay. Yes.
In Perth.
Yes.
We have a national chairman. He's still called Tommy Adebayo.
Yes.
The founder.
Yes.
And Melvin Achuma started a New South Wales chapter as well.
Okay.
So it's been expanding as individuals move around as well. The aim, the vision for APA
Yes.
inherently is to foster and develop networks for African professionals.
Yes.
So that they can actually contribute positively in their, not just in their careers, but in the entire society.
Okay.
As it turns out, we're still new here. We don't have a lot of older generation to guide us.
Oh, okay.
And as Africans, generally speaking, we're just growing in numbers here. So we felt the need to actually create opportunities for other Africans to network with other Africans so they can actually mentor.
Of course.
Others.
Yes.
For the few that have actually made it, can actually mentor and give back to others, so that others can actually not probably find an easier landing.
Yes.
Once they get to Australia. And I'm here to say that when I look at people coming now, I think they've got it a bit easier.
Really?
Absolutely. I remember being one of 2 Africans in a town of 6,000 people.
Wow.
Like everyone, they could tell us apart. It was me and another fellow called Fungai from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
They could tell us apart. I remember the time when you would see somebody who looked like you across the street and you cross the street and hug them and talk to them. So I remember going to somewhere and the whole place kept quiet. Not because
they're just surprised to see a black person.
Yeah, so it seems like I've been here 17 years. It seems like it's a given. There's now a few of us, but there was a time where you really felt like
you actually felt your race. Yeah. You actually felt that, okay, I'm different.
Yeah, so it's
wow.
Yeah, it's definitely been a long time coming. Like now my current job at my current workplace, we have a few Africans. That's exciting.
Yes.
But I remember working in places where there was hardly any African, let alone I'm from Uganda, let alone any Ugandan. So it's getting better, it's getting easier, but I find we need to, the few people that have been here, there's people who've been here since the late 70s,
Wow,
80s.
yes.
But because when they came, they were very isolated, so they've learned to cope by themselves and stick to themselves. We need to bring these people and encourage them to be part of this organization.
Absolutely.
So the rest of us who have come later can actually learn and also contribute to our own continent, tell our own stories. The media, in particular, and politicians have not been very kind to us, to be honest.
Yes, that's true.
Stories coming out of Melbourne have not been very favorable for us. This whole African gang thing has been a detriment to us. So you get judged before you even get a chance to be interviewed. So we want people that actually that have done it to show others how do you do it, how do you get across.
Yes.
And it might seem this place can get very lonely, can get very challenging, but there's people that are actually doing very well, doing very good things.
Yes.
And we need to share these experiences across the board.
Oh, that's very important that you say that, because I know a lot of people coming to this country struggle a lot, especially in terms of job-wise. So it's great that there's this organization that was founded to be able to bring all people together. And so is African Professions of Australia just mainly for African people from everywhere, or do you take any black other people from different parts of the world, whether they're black French, black English, black American?
African Professional of Australia is anybody who recognizes themselves as an African.
Okay.
But in hindsight, it's also saying we have 4 kinds of membership. We have the corporate membership, which is for working.
Yes.
We have a membership for like students who pay half price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, membership is like $100 for 12 months rolling.
Yes.
We have what we call Friends of Africa.
Yes.
So we have people who are members of African Association or African APA who are actually Aussies, born here. They've never been to Africa, but they're actually members because they support what we do and they love what we do. So you could be anybody. You could be, I don't know, you could be from the moon. You can still join.
Well, so,
what
yes.
we do is like we have some mentors. When we get mentors, it's not just African mentors. We get mentors who are willing to spare their time, regardless of what race they are. And we're trying to create this thing called Each One Rich One, whereby we're trying to even get out of our own African roots, whereby we mentor people who are not Africans.
Okay.
But if they want to talk something regarding African, maybe African studies, to get them somebody to do African culture, and vice versa. If you want somebody in HR and we can't get somebody who's African in that space, we can actually try to get somebody who's willing to give their time, who might not be African, but is willing to help. So it's cross-cultural. We're trying to impact society as a whole.
Yes.
Yeah, even though it's an African Professionals Australia kind of terminology, but it's for, we have Friends of African people, anyone who's willing to give back and serve community in a different way, we welcome them. So it's not just for Africans. So if you're from the West Indies,
the Bahamas,
come and join us. As long as we share the same values, we have things we can collaborate on. So, and our website is www.apaau.com.
Okay, apaau.com.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So hopefully everyone has had that website, but if you haven't, we'll definitely post it out and let you know. If you have any questions as well, please, I urge you to drop a comment down below on this video. Now, I've noticed there's some messages coming to you to me on Messenger. They might miss me. So if you do have any questions for Ken and myself, please just put your questions down on this video. That way we can be able to see it and, answer your questions while we are still here. So thank you so much for everyone who is joining us. Damaris, Stephanie, Faduma, and Pastor Charles. Thank you, everyone. Massive welcome to you. Now, also just another question that I want to pass across to you, Ken. What are some of the issues that APA has experienced?
Yeah, I think, of course, being a not-for-profit organization, you get the typical challenges of a not-for-profit. Things like funding, you struggle with time, grants. It's getting better. It's definitely getting better.
Okay.
But it's definitely one of those things, you whatever you put in is what you get out. So for us, it's mostly about the cause for Africans in Australia.
Yes.
That we do the work. So we still do have those challenges of trying to reach places and connect places in the right places, in the right areas. So we also get approached for a lot of, especially people have just come here, on how they can break into the job market. So what we do have is like we have like this, I'll call them pseudo relationships with companies like National Australian Bank,
yes,
JZ Social Services. It's not really a confirmed partnership, but at least we have people that are willing to give Africans a try. So what we do is whenever we see jobs out there, we're actually trying to put them across. But those are the typical challenges we have. Being young and just growing, we need to form better partnerships that actually maybe that are more firm and more recognized. And it will also take us a long way if we've got some more funding and grants. But it's a membership kind of association.
Yes.
So every year rolling, you do struggle to get members, to get things done. However, we're doing much better than when we started, than when I started anyway. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's mostly around funding and trying to get people to actually work with, to partner with, to actually get things done.
Perfect. So that means if people do join that organization, do they submit their qualification, and if there's a job opportunity, then you can contact someone and say, look, this has come up, are you interested? Or what happens?
Because we're not a recruitment agency.
Okay.
We do not necessarily take people's applications or resumes, but
yes,
what we do is like when any organization is looking for roles that are particularly African,
yes,
they tend to reach out to us. Actually, not just organization, there's all sorts of jobs. They tend to reach out to us.
Yes.
And then we send out emails to our database.
Yes.
We have a database of about 400 people.
Wow, okay.
So we send out emails to everybody and say there's a job going here. So if you're interested, then
put in your application.
Feel free to apply.
Okay.
Because we do not screen or do anything. It's just like a platform where people can actually reach out if they're looking for an African to do a particular thing.
Yes.
So
okay.
So that's what we tend to do very well as well at the moment. So.
Well, when you say that, that means it's a very, very important place for someone to get involved in, because opportunities like that can come across. And I did hear someone say before that you could not join APA unless you had a professional background. Is that true?
That is totally false.
Because they say they wanted to join, I think it was the Canberra APA. And they were told, well, you do not qualify unless you have some sort of employment.
That's wrong.
That's wrong.
We take students. We take. I think the whole point of APA is to allow people to grow, to develop.
Okay.
Whether you have a job or you don't have a job.
Yes.
In fact, if you don't have a job, we'll probably reduce the subscription fee as well for you.
Okay.
We understand you don't have a job.
Yes.
So we'll give you a 50% discount.
Oh, good.
And we do have events that are usually free or $10. We try to hold an event every month, one event every month. Some of them are just networking events. You come and just meet other people, like-minded people, so you can share stories, you can get contacts. So we do that. At least there's one APA event every month. What we call a profession is anybody who holds themselves to some kind of high esteem, where they want to have standards and broad particular standards of the profession in whatever they're doing.
Okay.
You could be a professional cleaner, you could be a professional, I don't know, plumber.
Yeah.
Profession is carrying yourself in a way that is higher than just having just doing the work. So understanding that this particular profession has standards, has qualifications, and for us, what we do is facilitate what's required for you to actually get those standards, grow in your profession. Or if you want to change careers, how do you get to the next step? For us, we're there to facilitate and provide a platform for people to actually get better.
Okay.
So it has nothing
to do with yeah. Okay, now when you say that, I have a very a question that ties to that. Because you do say that you do meet once every month to network and catch up. If somebody is not a member of APA or they just want to come and join these meetings, are they able to?
Yes, so what we do, this is what we do. Members, we have events, and events cost different.
Yes.
Cost different prices.
Yes.
This very Saturday, we have a high tea for ladies.
Yes.
At the Radisson Hotel. And that's, I think, $60.
Okay.
From 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So I think 3/4 of the people going are not APA members.
Okay, that's very reassuring. Yes.
Yes. So what we do is we give discounts to people who are APA members.
Okay.
We try to give them the money's worth. Like I said, we have at least 10 events a year. Like we try to have something every month.
Yes.
So some events are free, totally free. Like we had a leadership workshop in May with JD Karanja. She's a leadership coach. And that was free for members.
Yes.
And it was $20 for non-members.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's anyone can pay, and we do have like networking drinks every 3 months.
Okay.
And those are free.
You just go and buy your own drink and talk to. Okay.
Sometimes we have money, we buy people some drinks. So so we do try to blend it up. But half of the time, people that actually come, if you look at our membership platform and our base, like I said, we have over 400 people in email. Yeah, our membership is not 400 people. It's much less than that for those who are paid. However, our community is much bigger.
Okay.
Yes. So we do encourage anyone. If you're listening, please come on Saturday.
Yes. For the high tea.
For the high tea, for a good cause. We're trying to raise money for the cancer research.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the Australian Big Breakfast, so we're trying to raise $500 for cancer research. So come out, support. We have some very, very, very big speakers, including, let me just cross-check here, including Juliana Kuruma. She's going to be there. Okay.
I have met her. I've had her speak once, I think.
Yes.
So.
Juliana she's quite vibrant. Then we have a CEO of Super Concepts, called Lara Boginon. She's very supportive of APA. Then we have Dr. Margaret Matanda as well. So it's something for ladies to meet up and discuss career. These people have all done well in their careers. Try to discuss what kind of challenges they've met and they've come across and how well you can overcome those challenges, but also to network with other people who are like you, people who are trying to make it better. So they say you're the average of the 5 people you hang around most.
Yes.
So we all need to reflect on the kind of people we hang around with most and try to see whether that's who we want to be. So come out, meet people who are like you, people who want to make a difference. Some strong women, some people who are like go-getters. Come out and learn a thing or two, but just be present, just get to know other people,
and also just get inspired. Yes, it's a very great event. I'm also looking forward to be there. I unfortunately was attending the last year one, and then I missed it by chance. So I'm definitely looking forward to this year's high tea.
Just for you, we brought it back.
Well, I'm very honored, Ken. Thank you so much.
For you.
Oh, thank you so much. So if you're listening in, if you do want any more questions regarding the high tea, please put your questions down below in the video, or otherwise just inbox me, and after the show I'll give you all the info. You do not want to miss this. It's a great event. You will be inspired. That's a guarantee. And you also get to eat a lot of yummy stuff and meet a lot of incredible women there. So and we get to dress up. Ladies, we like to dress up. So if you are interested, let me know, and or let Ken know, and he will be very happy to give you further information. Now,
yes. Check us out. Check out our Facebook page as well. All the information is there.
So what's your Facebook page if somebody wants more information about the whole association?
I think just type into Facebook African Professionals of Australia.
Of Australia. Okay.
A few suggestions will come up. But we are the New South Wales chapter. So if you want to know anything about the New South Wales chapter, we have our own kind of page linked to that main page as well.
Yes.
It showcases all our events and the events we've had in the past.
Yes.
So please check it out. You'll be encouraged when you see it.
Perfect. Excellent. So Stephanie has mentioned that, wow, glad to hear that if you are unemployed, you can join in. And yes, she's asking a question if people who are unemployed get discounted. You already did answer that. Yes, people do get discounted. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us. Please shoot your questions. Again, I can see my messenger going crazy. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to navigate to my messenger. If you do have a question, just click on the video and write your comment down there, and I would be happy, or Ken would be very happy to answer those questions for you. Now, perhaps Ken, just coming back to you again in regards to African Professions of Australia, how important is it for immigrants to join this association, especially new immigrants?
I would say not just new immigrants, I mean all immigrants.
Immigrants, yes.
Because I was one of those. For me, it took me, I'd been in Australia 10 years before I joined any community group.
Wow, okay.
So, and I never, for a long time, I didn't see the need to. I came here.
You were like, you're just pushing on by your sake.
You know, there's an African saying that goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
It's totally true.
Okay.
Careers, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
Okay.
So all times when you're just new here, you're like, I want to get my degree, I want to do my things, I want to go fast. So you go, but then you get in there and then you realize you don't have a solid foundation or a solid base. Because nowadays jobs come and go so quickly. Like things change so quickly. But what joining a professional network does for you is, in my opinion, I've learned is the two important things. One is networking. Learning the ability to network. Networking is not just moving around with your card and just giving to them. Just understanding how to network. And Africans, we do have that.
Yes.
We do that very well.
Yes, it's in our nature. It's in our DNA, yes.
Except now you got to learn how to do it to people who are Africans, professionals, but also non-Africans as well. It's a consciously, you have to always be networking, get to know people, because it's through bridges that you actually move up. And what we do, providing a platform for that is very, very important. Imagine you come here, you're competing with somebody who was born here all their lives.
Exactly.
So their networks are from their high school, from the primary school, their dad's networks, they're well connected.
The uncle, the relatives, family, friends, and all of that.
And just starting from zero.
Yes, you're alone, completely alone.
And there's this other thing called the unconscious bias. Like
yes.
We all have it.
Yeah. It's
white people, Africans, we all have it.
Yeah.
So when you get in there, people are like, for the most part, before they even figure out whether you're very smart, they just want to know, can we get along with this person?
Yes.
Now, there's some etiquette, there's a language, there's a professional language, there's some mannerism, there's traditions that if you've just moved here, you just do not have. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory. Every group of people has their own culture, tradition, and language. So if you're new here, you need to surround yourself with people who are professionals to actually just learn some of those nuances. That when you go to an interview, you don't come across like you're very, very new. Because you might be able to do the job, you might be very smart, you could have done the job overseas.
Yes.
But they look at you, but they're like, you won't be a good fit for here because there's that culture thing.
Yes, you haven't adopted, or you haven't kind of, what's the right word, integrated to the Australian way of life. Absolutely. So if you go for a job interview, well, first of all, going to a job interview, being African, I guess you have to sort of, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have to do a little bit more than any other person, I find. Because if there is, let's say, 5 people applying for the same role and you have the same qualifications as everyone else, then I guess it comes to that interview for you to, give it a niche, for you to be that person that they get to pick. Because if you are just the same as everyone else, then chances are you might not really get picked. You might not be the first priority for them, unless maybe they want to hire someone African to bring in the multiculturalism in the company. But most of the time, I would say, honestly, you would not be their first option.
But you know what? It's funny. You see, that's true.
Yes.
But from what I've heard is most jobs are actually given, they've already been taken before they even advertise.
Yes.
So it's regulation, it's mandatory to actually advertise the roles.
Yes.
So when you have good networks, what you want is to be given a chance to express yourself, to be how good you are.
Yes.
When you have the right networks, you will be called for a job interview without necessarily actually going through the whole recruitment process.
Exactly.
Or trying to go through online. Somebody will push you forward. So they break that barrier for you.
Yes.
And that's how most people who have grown up here, that's how most people actually get through. The job is already taken before you even apply. So
Exactly.
sometimes they have these interviews, but they just mock interviews, maybe if something else comes up.
Yes.
So what you want is to be noticed before you even come up for the interview. And that's what we're trying to do here. So we can broaden our networks, get to know more people, so that people can say, there's a job here, I know somebody here, they're looking for a job, can you actually have a conversation with them? That is much easier, you get buy-in than if you actually just rock up via the normal route.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that, because people just think, I'll go online, whichever website I'll use, put in my CV and cover letter, and hopefully wait for me to be called for an interview. And so yes, sometimes you do get that interview, and then we'll get in touch with you, and it ends there. And I guess networking is, what you're talking about is extremely important. It happens all over the world, because people think, oh, these are the things that only happen in Kenya, in Africa, where somebody pushes you, but it's happening everywhere.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. I did my undergrad degree here. I went to Sydney Uni Chemical Engineering. I think I was the second last person to get a job.
Wow.
And my degree was much better than most people in my class.
Yes.
My grades were much better than most people in my class.
Yes.
But back then I didn't get it. Now I do get it.
Yes.
Yes. There were people that I probably would struggle to employ, but they were the first ones to get jobs. Like by third year, they already had jobs.
Yes.
So, and I was like, what is it? I wasn't getting it, but that's exactly it. They knew people that knew people. Like for them, getting a paper was just like something to just a tick. They already had the job.
Yeah.
How? Networks. So it's just the game. That's just the way it is. It's good. What you know is very important, but who you know is also equally important. So
absolutely,
let's not put that aside and just concentrate on what we know.
Exactly.
So yeah, having gone to I studied here, finished school here. My friends got jobs. I applied for like I think 600 jobs and I couldn't get any.
Whoa, 600 jobs.
I remember applying for like 600 jobs.
Wow.
And I couldn't. I ended up going to South Australia for work. Because I needed a job. I've done engineering, I've spent my money, I've spent my time, I need to work as an engineer. So, and in the end, I was like, okay, I'll pack up, I'll move to the country, that's where I'm getting a job. I couldn't get a job in Sydney, so I left my whole family in Sydney and moved to South Australia, and I worked.
Wow.
But yeah, these are the things, like, back then I didn't get it, now I entirely get it.
Yes, and that's really what a lot of people are facing, especially Africans in this country. They get that frustration of not, getting a job straight after uni. Some people get lucky, yes, some people don't, and it takes a lot of frustration. Or people do a different course, like engineering, for example, and end up working a completely different role that they've never really studied, or and end up working in disability or in sales or doing something else, something that they have not really studied for, but because they're desperate for work, they just end up landing wherever they are. And that's the most frustrating thing. So what can you tell these people? What should they do apart from, of course, joining APA, which is very important and very helpful? What else can they do?
I think one, the government, I think if you look at the last policy, not everyone is very happy with the latest immigration policies, but I think they're trying to encourage like rural jobs.
Yes.
Like we did engineering, to be honest, there's a lot of jobs in rural areas that most engineers are not willing to take because of location.
Okay, yeah.
If you're younger and you have a bit of tenacity, you can go and get some experience.
Yes.
And then find your way back. That's what I did anyway.
Yeah.
You can pack up your bags. They pay very well. In the rural, but they pay very well. You go and do your time and then come back. I know doctors that have done that. I know engineers that have done that. That's one thing you could do.
Yes.
Besides networking and trying to get yourself in the right place.
Yes.
Sometimes people move here and you're struggling with maybe not the qualifications are not yet there.
Yes.
You need to bridge and get new qualifications.
Yes.
So some people, they get a job in calls, they make a bit of money, so they say, why am I struggling to go back to school? So it becomes a question of comfort and really trying to do what will probably pay you better in the long run. So
exactly.
I would encourage such people to stay focused and say, if you need to work part-time and study, it's much better than doing like a job that will break your back for the next 5 years as opposed to doing a professional job. It pays off in the long run, in my opinion. The other thing is there's volunteering.
Yes.
People undermine volunteering. A lot of employees look highly on volunteering. If you can't get a job, but you can volunteer in an area, in a place where actually to probably get you the skills and that tick of having worked in Australia.
Yeah.
It might be, if you're into like media and communications,
Yes.
volunteer at a radio station. That's a
Yes.
good thing that can actually break the door for you. They'll be like, oh, she's been here, she
Yes.
worked in radio.
Yes.
On your resume, you can start off volunteering and then get a role there. So that's just important. If for the bit where you tend to lack training and experience, for the bit where you lack experience, move where the jobs are, volunteer, so you can actually get that take done. Or if it's bits where you need more training, if you can't afford, there's online training. There's a lot of online courses nowadays.
Yes.
DX, Coursera, like there's a lot of certificates you can get that. Actually, if you're younger, for the young ones, if you're into things like IT, data science, digital stuff, those things are so new, no one knows what's going on. You get a certificate online, it can
Within a very short period of time.
It can set you up.
Yes.
So at times we think we need to go to uni and do
Yes.
things, but like people see that you've actually taken the initiative. You don't have the money, you don't have 20,000, but you've actually done a course. So like, oh, let's see what they can do.
Yes.
So such things also helpful.
Yes, because as you're talking earlier, the frustration with people is you come from Africa with a different set of qualifications. Maybe you are a doctor back at home. You come to Sydney or you come to Australia, and you cannot practice as a doctor here because you need to further your studies, add something a little bit more for you to be able to get that license to practice. So, as you said, people end up just working something else, doing something else, and just forgetting about, because there's that frustration of why don't they recognize me as a doctor. I've worked as a doctor for a number of years. I've finished. These are my qualifications. Do you think perhaps in the future the government will look into accepting those kind of qualifications? Is there anything the APA would do to probably talk to the government, I guess, so to speak, in order to recognize these people?
Yeah, I think that would be more of a lobby and kind of advocacy role that at least APA can perform in that area.
Yes.
It's not just APA, I think it's all immigrants.
Yes.
This cuts across all people that migrate to Australia. Sometimes some countries are selected and they're given a pass. Sometimes some universities are selected and they're given a pass. Like I remember.
So it depends just which university you went to. Okay.
Sometimes, like I remember, there was a time where, like, I think for engineering, if you had gone to Stellenbosch in South Africa or I think Dar es Salaam, you could just come and get a job here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. At some point, I don't know whether that's still on. So a lot of these things are based on need, to be honest. And sometimes, even right now, if you're a pharmacist in New South Wales, you're not allowed to just go and practice in Queensland. You need to. So I think people put things in place to protect themselves, their professions,
Yes.
their careers. And that's saddening, but it's very true. So some of the things you can do around that, I think we've already mentioned.
Yes.
Like move where there might be more
Yes.
until you get your foot and then come back. It
Yes.
might not be easy if you're mom with kids as well.
Yeah.
And your husband has a job here.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take. But I guess APA and other migrant organizations can do a lot more advocacy around this particular thing, especially for people that have already moved here and settled here and they have lives here. They're just trying to like do what they've done for the rest. I think if they can make those rules and those regulations a bit more amicable, I think the whole society would actually benefit. I think so. So I guess we could do more in that space.
Exactly.
At the moment, we don't do much in that space. I mean, I do meet with the Home Affairs Department every so often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we do have these discussions. Yeah, but it's not. I do meet them as a community member.
Okay.
Not necessarily as part of an advocacy program for APA, but we do discuss all these policies when they come out.
Oh, that's really wonderful. At least it gives us some sort of not hope, it's not the right word, but assurance, I guess, that there's someone out there speaking, because a lot of people don't know whether there is any African community members or leaders speaking to any other members of Parliament or Home Affairs, or so it does give people assurance that things are moving. And as you said, I guess people who will be coming in the years after will be a bit more lucky, I guess, than people who came.
They've been the Department of Home Affairs and
Yes.
Agriculture. They've been